I want to tell you again that I am grateful to have this time to share with you and to share with you the hopes and the vision that I have for this coming year in Pathways. And I know that the board agrees that we want to make this year as fulfilling and as fun as we can. Now, I also want to mention that you may hear me talk about some things that have already been discussed tonight, and I want you to think of that as emphasis rather than inadvertent mistakes. Before we start looking forward, let's take a look at where we are today. And these are our statistics as of the end of the year. So when we started on July 1, we had 41 active members and 3 honorary members. Now, obviously, we've added 6 tonight, and we're hoping that we still will have a few more from the companion club. In our finances, we're in good shape. We have a special projects account, and within that, $3,500 is dedicated to the next phase of the water project, and we have not yet designated, we have undesignated funds of $3,000 for future projects. For the Guatemala Literacy Project support, we have just under $3,000, and our operating fund on July 1st was, well, June 30th was at $5,274. That is before all of your dues for the current year were recorded in our account. So that account is a lot larger now until we transfer things to RI. In our goals for 2025-2026, we achieved 15 of 21 goals. And our goals for 2026-2027 were submitted by the deadline of June 15th, and I'll be talking about those in a little bit more detail. Want to review for everybody our Rotary leadership for 2026-2027. Our Rotary International President is Olayinka Babalola from Nigeria, and our President-elect for Rotary International is Larry Lumsford from the United States. Our District 6600 Governor is Catherine Ebuck from the Anthony Wayne Rotary Club. District 6600 Governor-elect is Lee Peters from Ashland. Our Governor nominee is Angelica Reinhart from Fostoria. And the Assistant District Governor assigned to Area 9, which includes Pathways, is Steve Miller, somebody we know. The theme for this coming Rotary year is Create Lasting Impact. And President Babalola and District Governor Catherine have challenged us all to think about how we can create change in the world, in our communities, and in ourselves. And I want to talk about these, but I'm going to talk about them in reverse order. I'm going to begin with change in ourselves. And I interpret that as ourselves collectively, the club, and ourselves individually as people. So of course the big change is in the board. We introduced everybody in the board. I just want to point out that we have divided the terms so that not everybody is going to expire at the same time. About half the board will expire at the end of this year, and the other half will expire at the end of next year. Really? And our position of, I'm sorry, it's blocked. I can't read exactly what it says, but our companion club chair liaison has an asterisk by it because that position does not officially exist until we pass the new bylaws. When we have our monthly meetings, the agenda is going to look more or less like this. We're going to begin at 7:30 with a voluntary meeting before the meeting that's going to be dedicated to fellowship and trying to get a little bit of the feel of what it was like to get to a traditional Rotary Club lunch a little bit early and have a chance to visit with and get to know your fellow Rotarians. We will close that meeting with a Rotary fact. Then at 8 o'clock, we're going to call the business meeting to order. We will have an opening from our Sergeant-at-Arms or a volunteer if Bart doesn't want to talk. We'll have an opening from our Sergeant-at-Arms. We will welcome our members and guests, and then we're going to move into what I am calling happy minutes because happy hour implied too long a period of time. But this is where we will have an opportunity to share good news if we didn't share it in the meeting before the meeting. And I also want to use this time to talk about microservice. What is it we are doing individually to provide service in our local communities or with other Rotary clubs in supporting them? I'm hoping that we can really put an emphasis on service for us this coming year. Our meetings will then have announcements and any action items, and then we'll have a program of about 20 minutes followed by a question and answer period. And my goal is to make sure that we are ending as close to 9 p.m. Eastern Time as possible. We are going to have some ongoing work in the club. The first is we're going to try to encourage member participation and interest in leadership. And I just talked about that. I don't want to repeat it too much. One thing though, we've already had one brainstorming session, which was where we got the idea for the meeting before the meeting. I think we're also going to send out a very short, probably just 2-question survey to find out, are there barriers that exist for you that make it difficult to attend Pathways, or what can we do to make the Pathways experience better for you? We want input from our members. We're also going to schedule quarterly meetings for our overseas members, and we really want to encourage attendance by all of our members at those so that they can get to know our friends abroad. And we want to identify future club leaders. Our second bucket of ongoing work is going to be the integration of the companion club. We want to find ways to encourage our new companion club members to engage in as many of our club activities as they can, and we want to find ways that we can participate in the actions of the companion club. That'll be maybe easier for some of us who are in Ohio than for others that are abroad, but we want to see what those opportunities are going to look like. And this year, our third ongoing work is it's time to update the 3-year strategic plan. So we know this is coming, but we haven't really got started with it yet. But we will be appointing a committee of interested board and general members to review and update our strategic plan for the next 3 years. The second element of creating lasting impact is change our communities. And we can define communities any way we want to. The easy way is geographically, at the locality where we live, but it can also be communities of common interest. What can each of us do in our respective communities? Well, we can participate in the activities or support the activities of other local Rotary clubs if there are Rotary clubs nearby. But we can report and we can celebrate service activities that we do outside of Rotary altogether. If somebody goes down and spends some time at a food bank or a shelter kitchen, please tell us. We want to know that and celebrate that with you. I've been telling my non-Rotary friends that service above self is not just a motto. Service above self really is the Rotarian way of life. And of course, we want to support our companion club. And change the world. Bob Cook couldn't be with us tonight. Bob and Linda are on a cruise in Alaska, but Bob has always told us, dream big. Dream big and you can change the world. So we aren't going to be afraid of dreaming big. We are going to continue support of our district and our international projects. We're going to look to see if there's any new projects or global grants we might wish to support. We're going to do our walkathon for polio again this year, and I hope that people will participate by walking and by finding people to sponsor you as you walk. And we're hoping to increase the number of Rotary International benefactors. Those are people who leave a bequest to Rotary in their will or trust documents. Changing the world. Oh, I did that all. There we go. Club goals for 2026-2027. We have 19 goals for the coming year. And for some reason, PowerPoint wouldn't let me number them continuously, but trust me, there's 19. I don't want to go over all 19 of them with you. I am going to tell you how to find them in a little bit if you want to go look at them in more detail. But some of the ones I want to highlight for you, we're looking for 25 members to participate in club service activities. We're looking to have our club and club members contribute at least $4,000 to the Rotary World Fund. And that's really not an increase from last year. It's what we've been able to do the last couple of years. We want to see a contribution of at least $1,000 to the Rotary Polio Fund. We would like to see at least 3 members participate in Rotary Leadership Development programs. And we would like to add 2 Bequest Society members. The Bequest Society consists of people who have made a bequest to Rotary in their will with the value of at least $10,000. So our goals actually, when we put them in, were fairly conservative. As the year goes on, we are allowed to change them to make them more challenging, but we cannot change them to make them less challenging. And now I'd like to share a refresher on resources. One of the reasons I'm doing this is that, as I mentioned earlier, I'd never participated in a traditional Rotary Club, and I spent a couple of years hearing people talk about DACDB and My Rotary, and I nodded and smiled, but I never really went and explored them until recently. And they are so useful. I want to make sure you all at least have some idea of what they do and how to access them. DACDB is the platform where you will find all things Pathways. So what you want to do is go to dacdb.com. And when you do, this is what you will see. There's 2 login options. You want to log in to the one on the left that says log in to dacdb.com. And you will need, if you've never logged in before, you'll need to create a username and password, but then you're set. Once you've logged in, you'll see a page that looks like this. And there are various tabs along the top, and most of the time you're going to be interested in the My Data tab or the My Club tab. The My Data tab will take you to your personal profile, where you can add a picture, you can add information about yourself, you can edit information about yourself, and then you can see what other members of the club have put into their profile. If you go to the My Club tab, I got to tell you, DACDB recently did a refresh, and even if you've used DACDB in the past, in the last month, it now looks different. There's so much information on the page that I could only cut and paste the top third of it. This page is now divided into 3 sections: Essentials, Extras, and Extensions. But I used the top part, Essentials, because the most asked question we have in the club is, where is the Zoom link for the meeting? Where can I find that link? Well, one of the places, it's several places, but one of the places you can find it is in this folder here, Club Administration. And you will see that there is an opportunity to click on Meetings, and it will have the Zoom link. Another great resource is myrotary.org. And this is international, district, and the club all in one place. When you click on myrotary.org, you will need to log in. And again, if you have never done so, you will need to create a username and a password. When you do log in, the top of the page will look like this. And I really want to highlight here this link, Knowledge and Resources. it takes you to a page offering the Learning Center as an option. And the Learning Center is a wonderful resource for all Rotarians. It offers short videos or PDFs on a number of topics. Not all of them are Rotary specific. Obviously, everything on the left side is all Rotary specific. On the right side, the professional development, the public image, service, and learning facilitation are all general skills that you can use in your business world or with other organizations. They're not just limited to Rotary. And I believe that any Rotarian can access any one of these. The bottom half of the login page on Rotary.org will give you a welcome. Say hello. And you can, this is where you want to go. If you want to look at those club goals in detail, this is where to go. You would click on the View Club for Pathways. And when you do, it will take you to the Pathways page, and one of the options will be to look at the goals. Don't forget that we have our own website. It is pathwaysrotary.org. This is a public website, and this is what it looks like at the top when you click on it. And I really have to give a shout out to Jim, who has been maintaining this for us, and he just did a refresh on this past week. We now have a much easier way to navigate the various options that are on the page that include making donations both to projects and through Happy Bucks. We stopped emphasizing Happy Bucks a while back, but there's still an option if you want to give Happy Bucks. And we have 2 Facebook pages. We have a public Facebook page and a private Facebook page. This is what they look like, and you can tell the difference between the public and the private because it says private group. This is another place where you will always be able to find the Zoom link for the meeting. And I just want to offer a few closing thoughts. What do we expect from one another as members? Well, we expect us all to abide by the 4-way test, and insofar as you are able, join us once a month for these meetings. Please support at least one of our projects. And this is really important. Give us your input. Tell us how we're doing. Tell us what you need if you're not getting it out of your experience. And please enjoy the fellowship and have fun. Fellowship is so important in an e-club where we don't have the opportunity to connect in person, and this is our only time to do it. What should our membership expect from leadership? We're going to set the tone of fellowship for our meetings. We're going to develop projects in keeping with Rotary's pillars. We're going to continue to seek input from our membership, and we are going to do our darndest to make your membership feel meaningful and fulfilling. My personal vision statement for the year, which I confess I wrote into the bylaws, that as a 100% online club with members in multiple countries and continents, Pathways exists to further the mission of Rotary International through service projects and fellowship in a flexible format without geographical limitations. And with that, I just want to say thank you, and it is my hope that we can kindle the spirit of Rotary at every meeting and in every member.